So we get a big surprise last time with Eva or her younger self actually turning into a new witch and inheriting the name of Beatrice as well. We also had her portrait, which I found the resource online to put on the thumbnails, and as well as I didn't quite get what was going on in terms of the human story. Yeah, the magic story, it's fine. That's an ascension. It's her finding the gold and becoming a witch and all that. But now that I've quite have time to think about it, I think I got an answer to that. Because if we think that Shannon and Genji were the main culprits this time around, then it means that they're both dead right now. And Shannon, I think, committed suicide. So the old Beatrice actually died now. The old culprit died. And now it's a passing of the torch to another culprit, I think. And I think that's what the whole ceremony symbolized. Rosa returned to the lobby. It was still her turn to rest. Her expression made it look as though she couldn't sleep deeply with all this tension. And Rosa, she's not going to reveal the gold, is she? What about Eva? What's going to happen with her? What's going to happen? I don't know.
どうしても寝つけなくて。シャワーだけ浴びさせてもらったから、私はもう十分よ。次の人、休んでもいいわ。キリエさんたちはいかがですか？どうする？ルドルフさん、休ませてもらう？
I think what's going to happen, it's going to be a battle royale between the siblings, killing each other, maybe, for the gold, I think.
それくらいしか男らしいことができね
え。じゃあ起きてるわ。夫と一緒に起きてるくらいしか女らしいことができないから。
She matches so well with Rodolphe.
本当に仲のおよろしいことで。夏日さんこそね。
エヴァと秀吉さんはぐっすりみたいじゃないか。やはりローザと違い、年には勝てんね。
Eva and Hideyoshi. As in response to those words, the door to the hall clunked open. Eva and Hideyoshi returned from the guest room.
余計なお世話よ。あらローザ、もう休んでなくていいの？
Ooh, thunder.
姉さんこそ。
Ooh, oh my god, oh.
無理しないで休んでたら？
Inject the drama in my veins.
なんだか寝つけなくてね。シャワーを浴びたら眠気が覚めちゃったわ。ルドルフたち、よかったら休んでいいわよ。
おう、サンキュー。今は気持ちだけでいいぜ。兄貴たち、先に休んだらどうだ？
ありがたいね。だが先に休むわけにはいかん。それくらいしか長男らしいことができないのだね。
I also want to see Cross and Rodolph's relationship.
私たちは最後まで起きていますので、ごし。
Oh, I'm sorry.
それよりエヴァ姉さん、大丈夫？少し顔色が悪いわ。
そういや、そうやな。ちょいと熱っぽいで。
What's gonna happen with Eva? Now that I think her younger self, her other personality. Hideyoshi put his hand up against Eva's forehead. It seemed that Eva wasn't feeling her best. Maybe, I don't know.
言わんこっちゃね。年のくせに。風邪か？
Oh.
夏日、上野南條先生を呼んできてくれんかね。
はい。いいわ、そこまで大げさじゃない。常備薬は持ってるから大丈夫よ。疲れるとすぐ熱に出るの。心配しないで。姉さん、無理しないで。ありがとう。私抜きで兄弟が集まってると、 私の陰口でも言われてるような気がしちゃってね。
She doesn't want to rest because maybe Rosa will tell the other siblings and steal the gold from under her. Ooh.
昔からの被害妄想なの。
Ooh, oh my god.
ごめんね。
私は何も言わないわよ。
Ooh, the wind.
姉さんのいないところで姉さんの嫌な話なんて。どうしたの姉さん。さっきから変よ。もう少し休んだら。
そうね。3月までの金策を考えたら頭痛がひどくなってきちゃったわ。
So, oh my god, so good.
それは良くないわね。休んでて。姉さんの頭痛がひどくならないよう私も実調してるわ。私だって頭痛さっきから辛いし。
You know what? You have a battler, which is the main character, right? And then you have Jessica and George, who are close to him. His basically almost main characters themselves, right? Maybe, I don't know, but still, they're so boring compared to their parents. It doesn't make sense, actually. I mean, Jessica's just a normal girl, and George is like the blandest guy ever. And our parents are just so fun to watch.
ありがとう。じゃあ私、お言葉に甘えて、もう少し休ませてもらうわね。
どうしたんや、エヴァ。急にへそ曲げて。すまんな。わしら、もうちょい休ませてもらうわ。すまんな。すまんな。
Only Battler actually can steal the room, right? After apologizing several times as though praying, Hideyoshi followed Eva out of the lobby. Out of the cousins, only Maria and Battler are actually entertaining characters to watch.
空気が悪いな。どうにもギスギスしている。
無理もない。早朝に殺人事件。それからずっとここで銃を抱きながら缶詰ですもの。ストレスが溜まって当然ね。
上の子たちもだいぶストレスが溜まってるんじゃないかしら。
A
マリア
Battler
が
is
心配
already
だわ。
very charismatic,
こういう
so
時は感触を起こしやすいの。
at that moment they heard the sound of wild footsteps coming from the second floor. Guesthouse wasn't a cheap building, so they wouldn't normally have to hear the sound of footsteps. It was like the sound of someone stamping their feet in frustration. An instant later, accompanied by what seemed to be the sound of her running out into the second floor hallway, they could hear Maria calling "ooh" over and over again, sounding displeased. Ooh. Rosa grabbed her head, her hair flying, and she voicelessly moaned in anguish. The adults conscientiously turned their backs to her, pretending not to notice. A nosy clamor came down from the second floor and flew into the lobby. The battler fight with her again. It was Maria, who was sobbing, along with the other children in Nanjo. In other words, they had all come downstairs because of Maria's tantrum. Rosa couldn't hide her dizziness as this new annoyance her daughter was bringing to everyone.
ごめんローザおばさん、私たちもなだめたんだけど、どうしても聞いてくれなくて。
Ooh. What's it? Oh my god. This.
どうしたのマリア。少し静かにしなさい。みんな見てるわよ。
例のバラ庭園のマリアのバラ、あれが急に心配だと言い出して。
It's gonna be hard.
寝ぼけたみたいなんです。急にガバッと起き出して、バラが心配だ、バラが心配だって言い出して。マリアちゃん、落ち着いて。それは夢なんだよ。
Is she getting a memory from a past?
だから大切にしないとベアトリーチェに怒られちゃうな。また折れちゃってるかもしれない。
だから少し静かにしなさいって言ってるでしょ。
Ooh. A sudden rise in the tone of Rosa's voice surprised the children. Maria's crying just grew louder, and her tantrum just grew fiercer.
ローザさん、子供を頭ごなしに叱ってはいけませんぞ。こういう時は温かい牛乳などを与えると良いものです。
Nanjo, it's best to give some space. You cannot fight against Rosa. She's scary as hell. Oh, this is so hard to watch.
ここにあるかね。
さっき朝食代わりに出した牛乳で空っぽです。
誰か子供用の鎮静剤とか持ってるか？ほら、銀の粒みたいなやつとか。
持ってるわよ。
Oh my god. Oh, she's snapping at even her siblings. Oh, she's so. Oh, I.
ああ、今探して飲ませるから。
Ooh, we learned. we saw this in episode 2. She's the scariest one out of all of them. Maybe Eva is more scary, but still. Without holding her displeasure, Rosa grabbed the handbag that had been set on the sofa and fished around for some medicine. It seemed that she brought some child-use sedatives for Maria's tantrums. I can see Eva and Rosa and Kyrie killing people. However, I cannot see Cross, neither Nazi, actually doing so. Neither Hideyoshi as well. Maybe Rudolph, but I don't know his relationship with Battler yet to know. I need more screen time of Rudolph to understand the guy. She found it and opened the bottle, but it must have been empty. Irritated, Rosa shook the bottle several times. But that didn't change the fact that nothing was in there. As she did that, Maria's crying grew even more intense. I mean, he could be three things: a coward, a thug with a heart of gold, or just a scumbag. I don't know which of the three he is. So a scumbag with a heart of gold, just a scumbag, or a coward maybe. I still don't know which is which. About Rudolph. I think I mostly understand Rosa, I understand Eva, Cross as well, Nazi, yeah, Hideyoshi as well, maybe. At the time, Eva was lying on her bed, covered by the bedding. The only ones that still are maybe a little bit of a mystery are Kyrie and Rudolph. Kyrie has consistently kept her character of being the intelligent one. Still, she didn't break her character yet, the others have. At that time, Eva was lying on her bed, covered by the bedding. Hideyoshi returned from the washroom, folding a handkerchief soaked in water. In the first... If I remember well, in the first episode, I suspected Rosa, a coalition actually, of Eva, Rosa, Rudolph, and Kyrie, of conspirating to kill Cross. And then the servants got involved, or got caught in the aftermath. And then Hideyoshi and Eva got killed afterwards.
きっと親族会議のどっけにやられてもうたんやな。今はもう他の親族たちのことは全部忘れるんや。
But if it was Shannon, then I don't know.
な?
Maybe Shannon was also there and linked with the others. As Hideyoshi spoke to her kindly, he set the soaked handkerchief on Eva's burning forehead. Eva rested her own hand on top of his. More of the relationship with him.
ひんやりして気持ちいい。
わしの手が気持ちいいようじゃ、だいぶ熱が出とるな。安心せえ。すぐに薬が効いてくるわ。それにな、わしの手は魔法の手なんや。こうしてエヴァの額に手を当てとるとな、どんな熱も立ちどころに治ってしまうんや。
Yeah, they actually have a good relationship. I thought it's to be the other way around at first. In the first episode, before the second Twilight, actually, I thought Eva and Hideyoshi didn't have the best relationship, but actually they're
あなた
quite
の手で
okay.
私の熱が引かなかったことは一度もないものね。
そうや、わしの手があれば医者いらずやで。
I didn't feel like they were compatible at first, so I thought they have a very bad relationship, but
安
actually
心して目をつむるんや。すぐにわしの魔法でぐんぐん熱が下がるからな。
うん、知ってる。あなたの魔法感じるもの。
are they gonna be the second Twilight again? They're gonna get killed. Hideyoshi was about to say it was just a placebo effect, but he stopped. If Eva said she could feel magic coming from his hand, then that was fine for now.
魔法って本当にあるのかしら。
おお、あるで。信じる者にしかわからへんけどな。そういう魔法は案外世の中にたくさんあるもんや。
魔法が実在するなら、やっぱり魔女も実在するのかしら。
ん？森の信じる者にはおるやろな。
Oh, I'm sorry.
神様と同じや。信心深い人の前にしか姿は現さんのや。
私もね、昔魔法が使えたの。
ほう、ほんまかいな。じゃあお前も魔女やったんやな。
Oh, are they pushing for it?
私がね、絶対に叶えたい夢があって、それを強く願って努力すると、それが必ず叶ったの。私はその魔法でい
Passing
つ
over
も
the
成績は一
torch.
番だったし、生徒会長にだってなったし、入りたい大学にも実力で入れたし、いつだってどんな願いだって叶えてきたわ。
そうやな。お前の魔法はいつだって大したもんや。お前は確かに魔女や。そして誰にも負けん努力家や。わしゃよう知っとるで。
So that's why Lambda accepted her as a witch.
子供の頃からずっと心の中にもう一人の自分がいて、い
Lambda's
つも私を励ましてくれたの。
Lambda
その自分は魔女だったわ。森の魔女ベアトリーチェなんて信じなかった。
Lambda's in a weird position because she's like the overall antagonist of Higurashi Go, I think, along with the Ewa witch as well. I think she's a witch.
もし六軒島に魔女がいるとしたら、それは私の心の中の魔女のことだってずっと信じてきた。その魔女の自分に
And I want to know
私はすごい感謝してる。
if Hanyu actually has some play here.
あなたに出会わせてくれてよかったなっていつも感謝してる。
Maybe
病気の時のお前はいつも気弱すぎや。
I want to know how did Bern Castell become Bern Castell, and how did
今は何も言わんで熱が下がるまでずーっとこうしてるからな。
絶対に手を離さないでね。なんだか私自分が自分でなくなるような気がして。
Oh man,
さっ
I'm
きから怖い
I'm so excited about
私の中の魔女がベアトリーチェに触発されてどんどん強くなるような気がして。
I think
なんか私を飲み込んでしまいそうな気がするの。
is the culprit going to kill Hideyoshi and then disappear with the body of Eva so that Eva gets blamed, like Canon was in the second episode?
大丈夫や。わしが一緒にいる限り
Ooh, a murder in the
もう
guest
恐れるこ
room,
となんてあらへん。
guest house, a murder in the
Ora.
guest house. It's
ちょ
gonna
い
be
とヤバ
interesting.
めな国に旅行に行った時バスごと強盗にやったことあったやろ。
What?
わしが撃退したんやで。
あなた金時計を渡して拝み倒しただけだったじゃない。 こ悪いけどかっこよかったわ。この手絶対に離さないでね。眠っても絶対に離さないでね。そして何か不気味なものが忍び込んできても私を守ってね。
おう、任せとかんかい。
Eva is becoming more and more my favorite character overall on the human side.
だから今は安心して眠るんやで。
Rosa is a close second, maybe, along with Maria.
すぐに
But
薬と
Maria
わしの魔法が効いてくるからな。
Maria and Battler actually are in a weird position because they know about the witch world, I think. Eva finally calmed her heart and closed her eyes, so they transitioned between them, between those worlds, so they are special cases, I think. I don't know about Maria though, but she meets with Beatrice often, so... At that time, there was the sound of the door being opened violently from the direction of the lobby. It seemed that Maria was having a tantrum, and screams of "ooh" could be heard along with Rosa's rebuking yells that probably hurt Eva's ears. Maybe it was giving her a headache. Eva moaned as though in pain and buried herself in the covers. It was easy to guess what was happening. Maria had probably had a tantrum, for some reason, gone down to the lobby, and started arguing with Rosa, who then scolded her daughter. And then maybe that got too embarrassing to be shown in front of the other relatives, so Rosa had taken Maria out into the corridor. Hideyoshi had no desire to butt in on Rosa and Maria's problem. But just for now, since Eva's condition was so bad, he wanted them to take their ruckus somewhere else.
ちょいと待っとれや。静かにするようお願いしてくるわ。
早く戻ってきて。
大丈夫や。この部屋から出んて。
Hideyoshi removed the chain, opened the door, and stuck his face out into the corridor. He immediately met Rosa's gaze.
大丈夫かいな、ローザさん。
ごめんなさい。うるさくして起こしちゃったかしら。
This is getting...
マリアちゃん、ごめんな。エヴァおばさんな、具合が悪くて寝とるんや。すまんが、ちょいと静かにしてもらえ
I
る
don't
か。
know who's going to die. Maria's tone didn't change at Hideyoshi's request. She kept whining and repeating, "My rose, my rose." Rosa slapped Maria's cheek, lifted her up while covering her mouth, and dragged her towards the entrance, trying to at least put some distance between her and Hideyoshi's room. She would still probably be noisy for a while, but he had warned Rosa for the time being. Relying on Rosa's actions as a mother, Hideyoshi closed the door.
またマリアちゃんが泣いてるの？
そうみたいやな。ローザさんも大変や。
Nah. It's mostly... Maria's problem stems from her abuse and from being manipulated by the culprit. Man, if Shannon was manipulating her all this time, then I'm gonna be pretty sad, actually.
それを思えば、うちのジョージはできすぎや。親が感謝したいくらいや
I
で。
mean, Maria has some mental issues, developmental problems, actually, but still, most of her problems stem from
そうね。
from those two problems, those two issues.
おお、すまんすまん。ほら、魔法の手やで。
Put his hand on Ava's forehead again. Maybe there really was magical power in that hand. A truly peaceful look rose to Ava's face, and bit by bit she began to drift off into the land of sleep. As he promised, Hideyoshi kept his hand on her forehead. What about the younger one? At the entrance, with her hand still against Maria's mouth, Rosa was at a loss to do what to do next. She hadn't been able to withstand everyone's gazes in the lobby, and had yelled at the children to go upstairs, dashing out of the lobby. Then she had gone out into the corridor, only to have Hideyoshi say that she was too noisy. Where should I go now? Where should I take this child who's having a tantrum? She felt as though tears of frustration were about to come out. As Maria kept struggling in an attempt to scream, Rosa put her mouth up to Maria's ear and tried to persuade Maria in a properly calm voice.
マリアはそんなにもバラが見たいのね。
Maria nodded her head several times, moaning, ooh, ooh.
どうしてそんなにバラが見たいの？お母さんが聞いてあげるから静かに話して。叫んだら殴るわよ。
She was, I don't
マリ
know.
アのバラ、ベアトリーチェに蘇らせてもらったの。また折れちゃってるかも。マリアはそれが心配。確かめないと眠れない。
Apparently, she was still upset that Mark rose from yesterday. Rosa felt her headache throbbing again. She was at least a little relieved that Maria had now stopped her screaming.
とにかく今はみんな大変なの。だからママたちに迷惑をかけないで。バラの話は明日雨が上がったら好きにしていいから。だから今は聞き分けなさい。やだ。マリアのベアトリーチェのバラ。
Ooh, this is gonna be hard to watch. Rosa reflexively covered Maria's mouth. She had spoken a little too harshly and got her agitated again. Rosa realized that it was partly her own fault and clicked her tongue in self-hatred. But Maria thought it was directed at her, and her crying grew even fiercer.
お願いだから静かにして。どうしたらあなたは泣き止むの？どうしたらあなたはママの言うことを聞いてくれるの？
Suddenly, Maria stopped crying so fast that it seemed unnatural. Then she turned around and muttered,
マリアのバラを見たら、ちゃんと明日まで静かにしてるよ。
Maria's learning how to persuade people, huh? Oh no. Oh no.
本当？
バラ庭園に行って、マリアのバラを見たら、もうおとなしくする。本当だよ、ママ。
Oh no. Oh, this is bad. Oh no. Oh, the two there are close. Oh, I see. If it would keep Maria quiet for the time being. Rosa thought that even going out into this wind and rain would be a small price to pay. She thought it might be a bit too reckless, but in the end no murder or anything of the sort actually occurred. All of that clamor since this morning had been a farce set up by Kingzo. If you carefully thought about that chain of closed rooms, it clearly had all to be an act.
本当にバラを見たらもうおとなしくする？
本当だよ、ママ。
Rosa didn't overlook that creepy laugh and lightly hit Maria with her fist. And she shrugged as though giving up.
わかったわ。一目見たら納得するのよ。いいわね。
ママ、約束する。
Once again, Rosa tested the weight of her gun. It'll be okay. It's only an act. There was never a murderer on this island in the first place.
くそ、待てよローザおばさん。ローザおばさんとマリアが第二の晩の犠牲者なのか。
Battler realized actually. Oh, he's learning.
くそ。誰か気づけよ。呼び止めろ。今の親父たちや俺たちは何をしてるんだ。
ローザ親子の痛々しい関係に気を使ってわざわざ話題を変えておるぞ。そなたらも2階へ上がりテレビを見ながら話題を変えておる。
So Battler from the witch worlds and the Battler from the human worlds are different. The Battler from the witch world is from the first game, first episode. And then he can take the place of Battler during sometimes, I think, or not. I'm still confused about that.
くそったれ。誰か気づけよ。一番近くにいるのは誰だよ。
秀吉おじさんか。頼むよ。玄関から2人が出ていくのを気づいてくれよ。
届かん届かん。二人のささやかな時間を邪魔してくれるな。
Hideyoshi kept talking kindly, his hand on Eva's forehead. He didn't notice at all that Rosa and Maria were going outside through the front door. In that case, there was no way the others in the lobby, which was even further away, would notice, much less those in the cousin's room on the second floor.
そなたは何を慌てておるのか。第一の晩にて犯人は事故死したとの大胆な指し手にてわらわを打ち破ったではないか。ならばもうこの島に犯人はおらぬことになるぞ。何を心配する必要があるというのか。
So that's what I was thinking about, passing up the torch to another culprit. Oh, so that's her plan. To make Battler try to try to find another culprit within the living people. A second culprit.
誰か引き止めろ。2人が殺されるんだ。誰か止めろ。
So Rosa and Maria this time around, they survive until the end in episode 2, and now they're going to get sacrificed now. Makes sense. Maybe Kiri and Rudolph will survive until the end. There was no way that Battler's voiceless scream could reach Rosa or Maria. The two of them could be seen in the rose garden. The rain was still awful, but fortunately the wind had died down a little. No, maybe that wasn't fortunate, because maybe if the wind had been a little fiercer, Rosa may have hesitated to go outside. Rosa is acting very dumb compared to episode 2. Maria found her rose with the gold lace and stared at it lovingly. Rosa had accepted the promise under the condition that Maria will only get one look at it. She didn't want Maria to complain that it hadn't been enough later on. I guess it's because her siblings are still alive, so she doesn't feel the need to act as much. So she decided to go along with Maria until she was satisfied. She believed that there wasn't a culprit. But on the off chance that she was mistaken, they were probably now in an extremely dangerous position. Rosa realized that faintly herself. If things got bad, she would throw away her umbrella and ready her gun. After glancing at Maria's innocent happiness, Rosa gazed warily in all directions. Were her eyes just tired? Even though no one should have been there, she thought she saw something glitter in the dark rose garden. Gold-colored. Had to be her imagination. Because to Rosa, it seemed as though gold butterflies were dancing through the rose bushes.
Eva? 無理せんで、やっぱり南條先生を呼んでこんか？
大丈夫だからこの手を離さないでお願いだから離さないで
Eva was breathing wildly. Beads of sweat were appearing on her forehead. It certainly was true that she stayed up all night last night, and things have been rough since early this morning. It wasn't odd that her body wasn't keeping up. Even though he understood that, Hideyoshi was suspecting that this sudden fever was a sign of some serious illness. Several times Hideyoshi decided to call for Dr. Nanjo, but Eva resisted firmly. pleading with him and saying that it was even more important that he didn't take his hand away.
わかった。でもな、お昼になったら必ず南條先生に見てもらうんやで。それを約束できるならずっとここにいてお前の手を握ったるからな。こうして気がとな。
ありがとう。大丈夫よ。あなたの手の魔法で。
Is the younger one going to take the place?
こんな熱なんか下がっちゃうから。
Is the younger personality going to take Eva's place? Even as she said that, Eva's harsh breathing didn't improve in the slightest. Eva has corona. Ooh. Oh my god! Oh my god, that scream! What the hell? She saw an umbrella moving from beyond the rose bush. Elsa threw away her umbrella and wildly lifted her gun. When she did, the shadow of a person beyond the bush showed itself. Ooh. Ooh.
びっくりしたわ。姉さんなの？何かご用？さっきの話の続きなの？
Oh.
ええ、そうよ。お父様の黄金の話よ。
お願いだからマリアの前では遠慮して。ちゃんと約束は守ってるわよ。
Oh, I'm so tense.
姉さんの悪巧みの邪魔はしないわ。
悪巧み？
Oh my god, her voice.
何それ？
姉さんが何を考えていても勝手よ。私は邪魔する気なんてない。だからマリアの前では許して。私は分け前さえもらえれば十分なの。
分け前？
The way. Ooh. Oh my god, that laugh. Eva started laughing in a creepy voice. Rosa was startled, but Maria stared blankly. Oh, then Maria said just one thing. Oh, this is not gonna be good. Oh my god. Oh my god, her voice.
あれはすべて私のもの。この黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェのものよ。
What is?
Eva, 大丈夫か? Eva.
Her performance, though.
Eva.
逃げていて。離さないで。私じゃない誰かに連れ去られないように。
I thought Eva was transformed and killed Hideyoshi actually.
私の手を握っていて。離さないで。
And then walk to the gardens, but no. Oh my god.
お前が何を努力したの？
Oh, the candles dance.
何も努力してない。いつも私たちの影に隠れてのらりくらり。いつも戦わずに影から影へと逃げ回っていたお前に後ろ宮家の黄金を無心する資格など本当にあると思ってるの？
Oh.
あれは全て私のもの。後ろ宮家当主にして新しき黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェの名を継承した私だけのもの。
She She has such a bratty tone of voice, it's amazing.
Beatrice. Beatrice だ
What? What? Maria jumped at her mother's mother in ecstasy. This feels weird. I thought Maria was going to be, no, you're not Beatrice, you're a fake. I know the real Beatrice, and then Eva would get mad. Rosa treated Maria cold-heartedly and raised her gun high.
姉さんよね。姉さんなのよね。
違うわ。私はもはやあなたの姉であった存在ではないの。
じゃああんた誰なのよ。ベアトリーチェだとでも言うの。そんなはずはない。あんたは19年前に死んだのよ。
My God.
ええ、確かに死んでいたわ。だって私あなたの頭が割れているところをはっきり見たもの。その中身が溢れ出しているのを昨日のことのように思い出せる。
I keep getting surprised.
どうして生きてここにいるのよ。
黄金の魔女に死の概念などないの。黄金の魔女とベアトリーチェの名は永遠に受け継がれてるか。お前が知っていたベアトリーチェは死を迎えたかもしれないが、今やそれは私の名である。故に無限。ベアトリーチェに死の概念はないの。
So basically, the mistress, then the daughter, and then Shannon, or I think it's Shannon still, and now Eva.
哀れね、姉さん。
もはや私はお前の姉ではないという
That
の
was
に。
weird.
さて、新しきベアトリーチェとして自らの復活の儀式を引き継ぐわ。
My own resurrection ceremony.
ロノベ。
Oh, is Ronove going to appear?
私はどうすればいいの？
ご随意のまま。
Oh my God, is Genji still alive? Maybe. I think Beatrice confirmed it with Red. So no.
もはやベアトリーチェ様にはどのような思いも実現できる力がおありです。少し扱えばなれるでしょう。
不甲斐なき元妹よ。私が魔女として初めて捧げる最初の生贄に選ばれたことを光栄に思うがいい。
Oh my
第
God.
2の番に寄り添う二人を私がこの手で引き裂く。
Oh my God, the performance though. The first thing that new Beatrice wished for, no, the first magic she tried to use was to surpass the limitations given to humans, in particular gravity. She wanted to become fully aware of her transformation into witch by being released from those shackles. As a witch and Rosa stayed as they were, the ground retreated all by itself into the distance below them. By now their feet were no longer attached to the ground. Oh. Oh, Rosa, you're done. You're so dead. Rosa finally realized that the earth wasn't retreating into the distance below them. That she and the witch were being sucked into the rainy sky. Ooh, Rosa is super dead. What about... Oh my God, that face! Oh, this is good. For a human shackled to the ground by gravity, there was nothing more unnerving than have their feet stop sticking to the ground. However, to Beatrice, who in becoming the new witch had learned the joy of being released from gravity, was enough to make her whole body shake with delight. I think a commenter said that they call her Evatrice instead of Beatrice. So I'm going with that for now on, I think.
ねえローザ、昔小さい頃魔女になって空が飛べたらなって話したことあ るの覚えてる？叶ったよ。
Oh my god.
私が本当の魔女になって叶えてあげたわ。
Eva is pushing hard for best girl place right now.
やめてよ。夢ならそれで。
あなた言ったわ。夢の中で空を飛んだって。そして覚めたくなかったとも言ったわ。起こした私を恨んだともね。安心して、今度は覚めないわよ。
What's that laugh? Come, dance with me in the vast rainy sky. Didn't we both wish we could fly like seagulls in the sky and escape the cramped and boring island of Rokinjima? Now I'll make that dream a reality for you. I only want to share this joy with you and no one else. Oh.
見てごらん、眼下を。私たちのお屋敷ってあんなにも小さいわ。あんな小さな場所で私たちはどれほどの長い時を過ごしたのかしら。その狭さとちっぽけさに今こそ本当に呆れるわ。だからこそ感じて、楽しんで、喜んで。
Her performances, her voice.
私たちが憧れた大空を自由にする力を。さあ踊ろうよ、ローザ。雨の中を、風の中を、私たちは踊るように飛び回ろう。稲光が私たちを照らして祝福してくれるわ。
The witch and Rosa were like leaves floating around in a whirlwind. As the rain pounded upon every part of their bodies, as lightning occasionally shone upon them, they shook with the joy of being released from the ground. However, it was only that way for the witch. Rosa was holding onto her head, voicelessly screaming over and over.
そうね。人間は大地を這うのがお似合いね。なら地上におかわりなさい。
Oh my god. A slightly displeased expression rose to the witch's face when she realized that her own joy was not being shared. Then she decided to listen to her former sister's request. What is happening? The whirlwind that had been making Rosa dance around grew weaker and then stopped. In other words, Rosa was once again bound by the restrictions of gravity as a human. Following the laws that were originally correct, Rosa began to descend towards the ground upside down. No, she began to fall.
いけない。そうか、ちゃんと下ろしてあげないとこういうことになるのね。
The witch hadn't intended to send Rosa plummeting. She still wasn't used to using magic. Oh, after plummeting about 100 meters into a rose bush, as a very, very natural result, Rosa died instantly. Oh. But the witch hadn't intended to kill her, so she wished that Rosa hadn't died. And she did. Gold butterflies coiled about Rosa's body, reviving that life just as the witch had wished. Oh no. Rosa's body, which should have been spread out like a carpet of fresh blood, rapidly returned to normal. Man, they love torturing Rosa, huh? First episode 2 finale, now this. Oh. The broken and crushed bones returned to normal. The torn and smashed flesh returned to normal. How easy it is to break things in this world, and how difficult it is to fix them. Anyone can take a life, but no human can revive a lost life. By surpassing the irreversible, one proves that they have surpassed humanity. This surely gave her a much, much greater realization of her position as a witch than flying through the sky had. Bring Einstein back to life.
ベアトリーチェ様はすでに無限の魔女であらせられます。
Maybe Tesla.
生きることも死すことも生かすことも殺すことも全ては無限に繰り返される。その輪廻を支配する女王こそが無限の魔女であられるベアトリーチェ様なのです。
金魚鉢を落としたことがあるわ。涼しげな美しい鉢が割れてしまって二度と元に戻らなかった。床に叩きつけられた可愛いデメキンは二度と泳ぐ姿を見せてくれなかった。私がいくら泣いても使用人たちは壊れたものと死んだものは蘇らせられないと首を横に振ったっけ。あの時学んだのよね。物は壊しちゃいけない、人は殺しちゃいけないって。だって直せないんだもん。
Oh. So now Temple's Raven says up. That twists the logic. Don't know if it's gonna be used anymore, but still. Now that you can fix them, you can kill them. Isn't that right? Ooh.
じゃあ直せるなら壊しても怒られないということでしょ。すごいすごいすごいすごい。
That's not a laugh. For a while, the witch became intoxicated with how terrible and wonderful the power she had inherited was. Her laugh was pure, innocent, and cruel. Even though Rosa had been revived, she let out a cry of anguish as the pain from her fall. At that point, the witch landed and held out her hands. Oh my god, that laugh!
空を飛ぶのがこんなに楽しいとは思わなかったわ。ごめんなさい。本当にごめんなさい。そして人間がこんなにもろく死ぬとも知らなかったの。でも生き返らせてあげたからもう平気。だから起きて、私ともっと遊びましょう。
What the? What are these laughs? What were those dreams you told me about when you were a kid? Go ahead and tell me all of them without holding back. As I am now, I can make anything come true, no matter how absurd. Even drowning you in a sea of jelly. Even having you get sucked into a mountain of cake. I can even make you sprout butterfly wings and flit around in the garden, okay? I'll do them, one after another. Let's start with the ocean of jelly, alright? Drowning in jelly. Ooh. Rosa was once again thrown high into the rainy sky. However, the sky wasn't filled with raindrops, but drops of orange juice. When she looked down, Rosa had to doubt her eyes. The rose garden had disappeared and the ground spread out beneath her was like a pastel-colored jigsaw puzzle. It was an ocean of jelly, like the one she had spoken of in her dreams when she was young. The black part was coffee jelly, the red was strawberry, the yellow was pineapple, the green was melon. What was the white part? Apple? Did Rosa even have the time to think stuff like that? Rosa fell towards the multicolored ocean. Oh, and she sunk deep into a purple grape-flavored sea. It was really an ocean of jelly. It had no bottom. As Rosa sank, she was shocked to see a school of transparent fish swimming through the grape jelly ocean. They were probably made of grape skin. Then she sucked on, deeper and deeper, and as deep as the Marianas Trench. Oh. Crushed by the water pressure of the jelly ocean as her ribs snapped and her spine snapped. In the end, she became a small, frail meatball. Isn't pressure just... I think pressure... I've heard of the dolphin incident, I think. Or something called like that, I don't know. where a team of divers went into a place. I don't remember the whole incident, but they locked the thing wrong, so the pressure affected them all at once down beneath the sea. And what happened was that their organs spilled out from their bodies. The corpse literally imploded and exploded out. And that's what happens. Yeah, your bones get crushed, but not... Your body doesn't get meatballed, I think. It just gets thrown out like a cord. To the smallest possible degree. And she dies of, I think she dies of not being able to breathe long before her organs get spilled out. The instant I snapped my fingers, the meatball that had been Rosa was launched up into the sky. And after being wrapped in a golden sparkle, she returned to her original form. It was as simple as easy as returning a dry seaweed into its original form, and anyone could do it. If they were a witch. The absent-minded look on Rosa's face has to be the joy from having that dream she gave up on a child come true. Definitely. Probably. Next is the mountain of cake. In an instant, the sky was covered and became black and white, the shape of a chessboard. That almost transparent white part was her favorite rare cheesecake. The elegant black part was a slightly bitter gâteau au chocolat. That became the ceiling, became a mountain, and several billion cakes were thrown down towards Rosa. If you pile those cakes up, they would surely be taller than Mount Everest. So they probably weighed it. I'm not too sure, but I'll bet it's heavier than all the cakes across Japan put together. It's heavier than all the cakes across the world put together, I think. As heavy as Mount Everest, I think it's heavier than all the cakes made of all time. It fell down like a ceiling and swallowed Rosa up. So it's a very, very natural result. Rosa was crushed to death. In less than a second, her bones broke throughout her body and her insides were all smashed and forced out. Squish, pop, slop. Even so, an even greater number of cakes piled up on top. And Rosa ended up as a layer of jam wedged between them. Ooh. She became as thin as a single hair, and was probably spread out over the area of a tennis court. The world swallowed up by the cake was also once again absorbed by cold flash. Ooh. Then, as though it has all been a dream, Rosa was revived once again. Of course, it definitely wasn't a dream. She had been revived after dying. But at that point, death, which most humans only have to experience once after they are born, had already been experienced repeatedly by Rosa. In other words, she'd gone through that which humans cannot, the precious experience of dying more than once. Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh. Oh my god. Laughing innocently, she pointed her gold staff at Rosa as she begged for mercy. Man, Battler's gonna have a field day with this one. This is gonna be hard for Battler. And she did, and Rosa glittered gold and rapidly began to shrink. She shrank down to the size of a real butterfly. Then gold wings sprouted from her back, and she joined her fellow gold butterflies. However, while a human body could withstand that wind, it was a different matter for a butterfly's body. The gold butterfly Rosa was invited to dance by each gale of wind as she spun in circles around the rose garden. What about Maria? As her dance wore her out, she was caught by a gentle bed. It was a soft knit hammock in the shadows beneath the roof of the arbor. Oh, is that a spider web? Oh. The owner of that hammock lumbered into view, welcome its rare guest, who had wandered in on the night of the storm. That owner, a shoving small enough to crush in the palm of your hand, now looked as big as the top of a canopy bed to Rosa. Her laugh. Oh. Watch So I'm a Spider, So What?
今度は雲とダンスなのね。懐かしいわね。クモの巣を見つけては石粒を投げつけて遊んだの。クモって獲物をかじるんじゃなくて毒液を刺して中身をドロドロのスープに溶かしてからすするんだって聞いたことがあるわ。ねえローザ覚えてる？わざと蝶々をクモの巣に放ってどうクモが襲うか眺めて遊んでた時のこと。
Oh my god.
覚えてないわね。あなた小学校に上がる前だったと思うもの。
Yeah, Eva is scarier than Rosa. I take it all back.
今度はよく見れるわよ。しげしげとね。許して姉さん、助けて姉さん。
Oh my god. Oh.
あいつやるな。
Oh,
実に自
Beatrice
由
is
に魔法を
watching.
使いこなす。
Oh, she actually. Oh, Battler, you're so fucked.
面白い面白い面白い面白い。バトラも笑えるだろう。
ふざけんな。もう止めろ。何が楽しいんだよ。おかしい。てめえおかしいぞ。こんなことをして何が楽しいってんだ。
あんなに楽しそうじゃないかよ。無理もない。魔法は楽しいもんな。思い出すよ。わらわも魔法が使えるようになった時はすっごくはしゃいだもんさ。ああ、わかるぜわかるぜ。あのはしゃぎっぷりが心の底からわかるさ。この喜びや感動、バートラには共感できないんだろうな。ああ、残念残念。バートラだってわらわを認めればいつだって魔法を教えてやるぞ。人間の束縛を逃れた瞬間の喜びは筆舌に尽くしがたい。そなたに教えてやりたいよ。あの喜び、あの感動。そなたの生み出す魔法の世界もぜひ一度見てみたいものだ。楽しくなってきただろう。魔法が使いたくなってきただろう。魔女もなかなかに楽しいものであるぞ。そなたには特別に教えてやる。 一緒に空を飛ぶ喜びとか、一緒に海を潜る喜びとか、人間の制約を超えた瞬間に知る世界がどれほどに広かったのかという感動をそなたにも教えてやるそしたら楽しいだろうな
There was no malice in Beato's expression. She was weird. It was hard to believe, but she was genuinely enjoying this cruel show, and she wanted to share that appreciation with Battler. Battler was shocked by that hopelessly different sense of values.
信じられねえ。もうやめろ、チクシャー！ワルギリア、このおかしな茶番を止めさせるんだ。どうすりゃいいんだ。
私たちは番外の存在です。盤上には触れられません。
Virgilia shook her head apologetically. Her body had already been killed. Did that mean she couldn't interfere in any way? As Beatrice continued to look amused in an insane sort of way, Battler lifted her up by the collar and yelled at her.
やめろやめろやめろ！いい加減にしろ、魔女め！あれがエヴァおばさんだってのか？ありえない！俺の知ってるエヴァおばさんは確かに意地悪なとこも少しはあったけど、こんな残酷なことをする人じゃ断じてありえない。全てお前のまやかしだ。ローザおばさんをもてあそぶな。エヴァおばさんをもてあそぶな。今すぐこの茶番を止めさせろ。
だからローザと遊んでいるのはもうわらわではないというに、新しきベアトリーチェだというに。
Oh my god, her voice.
そんなにギャーギャーわめくほどに残酷か？そなたもこういうの実は結構好きだろうが。
She's talking about me.
実はちょっぴり魔法に興味を持ってきて。
Oh.
何をする？
For the first time, Battler slapped Beato's cheek. Beatrice didn't know why he had done something like that to her, and a surprised expression rose to her face. What is happening with Beatrice? She's acting... Oh my god. Do I have to revise my image of her? It's too soon for her to act like this. Battler especially couldn't forgive that expression, and he roared. Oh my god!
これが面白いだ。お前の頭はどうなってんだ。死ね。
Oh my god, this is his voice.
頭を輪切りにしててめえで覗いてみろ。絶対に中身がごっそり抜けてるぜ。
Oh my god.
今すぐやめさせろ。この悪趣味な茶番をやめさせるんだ。俺はお前を許さない。よくもこんな残酷なことを。お前のこと少しでも笑えるやつだと思ったこともあったが。
Why?
俺はもう二度と勘違いしない。
Why are you Oh my god, I can't with Battler.
お前はただ残酷なだけの怪物だ。俺の前に現れるな。
Yes, she is the big bad. Come on, realize that already. You can't
二度と
be...
だ。お前を認めないお前と話さない。お前の顔など見たくもない。聞こえたか？俺の前に現れるな。お前なんか消えてしまえ。
Oh my god. Battler's performance also. Oh. The instant Battler screamed, power that resisted the witch became a red wall and knocked Beato back onto her butt.
なんだというのだ。面白い見物ではないかよ。
She spoke defensively, but the target of those words, Battler, was no longer there. His figure had suddenly disappeared into the darkness. Beatrice looked displeased and continued to try to explain herself.
そりゃ確かにちょっとあれかなとは思うが。
Oh my
無邪
god.
気ないたずら程度であろう。どう殺そうが結局は生き返らせておるではないか。人間は 終わりさえ良ければ何でも良い生き物ではなかったのか。のうお師匠様、そこまでへそを曲げられるものでもある前に。
She was hoping for approval, but Virgilia simply faced with her an indifferent expression. To Beato at that moment, even an exasperated look would probably have been better.
私から特に言うことはありません。あなたが楽しいと思うならいつまでも見続けていると良いでしょう。終わったら呼びなさい。
Is Beatrice gonna become an ally? I thought she would be the big bad, but maybe not.
それまで私も姿を消します。
Following Battler's lead, Virgilia vanished into the darkness. Beato, who was not completely isolated and didn't want to have a clue what was going on, felt like they were making her to be out of bed to be the bad guy. What?
なんだよ、面白いショーじゃないかよ。ちょっとは悪趣味かもしれないけど、割と面白いじゃないかよ。
I actually agree with Beatrice.
なあ、ロノベ、あそこまで怒るほどじゃないよな。
お嬢様の面白いがバトラ様にも面白いとは限りませんよ。
わらわは
Why is she
何
crying?
も嫌われておるか。そりゃ確かに対戦相手だから敵同士ではあるが、先を笑い合いのほどわらわたちは不仲だというのか。バトラと一緒に拍手できたように一緒にゲラゲラ笑い合えると思ったのに、その程度のことすらわらわは拒絶されるというのかよ。魔女だと認めぬのはいいさ。それを競い合うゲームなんだから。でもよ、
Oh my god, what is that
話もし
face?
ないって。無視はいくらなんでもないだろう。
What is that?
わらわはそんなにも嫌われ者なのかよ。
She's completely flipped from episode 2. What the fuck?
これまでお嬢様は十分に嫌われるだけの差し出をいたしました。
I would expect this, something like this in episode 7 at least.
悪魔の
Not
私
right
です
now.
ね。バトラ様の気持ちが少しは分かろうというもの。
I need to
それが
revise
理解できぬの
what's gonna
は
happen, I think.
お嬢様が特に鈍感が過ぎるのではないかと。
Maybe the other witches are going to kill Beatrice, maybe. I think.
うるさいうるさいうるさいうるさい。
Maybe she won't be the antagonist for
お前も
the
消えて
rest
し
of
ま
the
え。
game.
はい、かしこまりました。それでは失礼いたします。
But still, I like her personality a lot. Even Ronove hid himself in the darkness, and Beatrice was left alone. The only one in the rainy rose garden. No one ever plays with a lonely witch. The fact that no one ever does it is what makes them a lonely witch.
なんだよ、なんでわらわと誰も遊んでくれないんだよ。そんなにわらわは変かよ。残酷かよ。誰か返事しろよ。
Oh man. I cannot side with Beatrice. I mean, I am siding because it's entertaining, but you have to look at it objectively. She was the one who killed the whole family, so in the first game and the second game. Oh, it's hard. They're trying so hard to humanize her.
次は何をして遊ぶ？もちろんマリアも一緒に遊んであげるわ。みんなで仲良くお散歩しよう。煮えたぎるチョコレートの鍋を泳いでケーキ膨らむオーブンの中をピクニックしよう。
I still haven't forgotten Beatrice and Rosa in episode 2 finale. Let's swim in a pot of boiling chocolate. in a cake rising oven. Oh my god. Her laugh.
No. 新しきベアトリーチェ。
Behind the witch that was continuing her mad banquet, Beato showed herself. The expression was very rare for her. It was somehow restrained, unreliable, and miserable.
これは仙台ベアトリーチェ様、ご覧くださりましたか？魔法の力は本当に素晴らしい。魔女に生まれ変わることができたことを今ほど楽しいと思ったことはありません。まるでいつまでも終わらぬお遊戯の時間のよう。さあ、仙台様もご一緒に遊びましょう。その前にちょっとお待ちになってくださいね。二人はオーブンの中で焼け焦げて死んでしまったから、また蘇らさないと。まるでイーストで作れるパンみたいに。
Oh, I feel so bad for Maria. Oh, oh no, Maria.
オーブンの中で膨れるクッキーみたいに。
She survives until the end. In the previous two games, only get killed like this. Oh, Maria.
話を聞けというのに。そのだな。第二の番の生贄にはもう十分であろう。確かに殺し方については指定がないが、それ以上もてあそぶことはあるまいに。
何をおっしゃいます仙台様。さっきロノウェから聞きましたよ。仙台様の魔法はもっともっと素敵で残酷でやりたい放題だったって。6人のお腹からお菓子が溢れ出すハロウィンパーティーなんて本当に素敵。
Is this going where I think it's going?
ならば私はアリスのお茶会を演出しようかしら。何でもない日を祝うお茶会にみんなを招待して、私が魔法で次々おもてなしするの。
So that's where the story beat is going for the third episode. I see.
仙台様みたいに素敵にできるかしら。個性的に残酷にポップにキュートにできるかしら。今思うと
Oh my god, that face!
どれも残酷でしたよね。そのおとぎ話の魔女に自らがなってみて、ようやく理解しました。
わらはもうその以前までのは少しやりすぎたかな。少しは思っておるのだ。
Oh no, Beatrice. Oh, there are some death flags. Oh, I see. So that's why I was getting that feeling of why were they trying to humanize her so early on. Oh, she's going to fight against Eva, right? She's going to fight against Evatrice and die, I think. Oh, this is not good. So that's where the story is going.
まあ、黄金の魔女たるもの、少しは気品があっても良いかと思うてな。
Oh, I've seen this storyline so many times in the past in so many different fictions. The enemy suddenly becomes good and then is killed by another greater enemy. Oh, greater antagonist.
仙台様が何をおっしゃってるのかわかりません。でも一つだけわかります。今の私がどれほどを尽くしても仙台様の残酷さには到底及びません。もっともっと頑張らなくちゃ。もっと残酷になって立派な黄金の魔女にならなくちゃ。
So basically I think what's going to happen is Beatrice is going to try to hinder Eva throughout, and then Eva is going to become mad and then
だからそれはもう十分だという
Beatrice is
に。
going to die, I think.
とにかくわらわの 先代としての命令だ。第2の番はもう十分だ。わらわが少し手本を見せる。下がって見ておる。
Yeah.
先代様、どんな無残で残酷でおぞましい殺し方を見せてくれるのか楽しみです。
The new witch grasped the side of her skirt and gave a graceful bow. Stepping back as an expectant gaze rose to her face. She was expecting an even more cruel magic that surpassed even herself.
まあ、そうだな。そういう殺し方しかできないうちは半人前なのだ。
The antagonist that becomes good, and then a new antagonist comes in and kills the.
わらわが上品な黄金の魔女らしい殺し方を見せようと。
So that's when I was getting weirded out. When Beato waved her pipe, 7 colors of smoke poured out, reviving Rosa and Maria. Compared to how the new Beatrice had done it in a short while ago, it was slightly gentler. It was probably gentler than how Beato had done it herself up until now. Rosa's consciousness had already grown dim from the pain of so many repeated deaths. But even so, she pleaded that her daughter be spared.
許して、せめてマリアだけでも許して。
すまぬ。我が弟子が少し羽目を外しすぎたようだ。許せ。
When Maria realized it was the real Beatrice, she jumped onto her. Oh, here comes the betrayal. Oh. Oh, here comes the mind break.
そのだな。その約束はもう守れぬ。碑文の謎を解く者が現れたから。わらわはもう黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェではないのだ。だからすまぬ。そなたとの約束はもう守れぬ。
なんで、どうしてベアとは約束してくれたんだ。
Here comes the reality check from Maria.
すまぬ。本当にすまぬ。だからせめて約束を守れなかった
I'll give you a quiet sleep that will never be disturbed again. Beato embraced Maria with a loving expression on her face. Then softly a red bruise appeared on Maria's neck. Oh, similar to Genji. It was a very gentle bruise. Its redness grew bit by bit, and when it distinctly formed itself into a shape of a hand, Maria's neck tilted suddenly, peacefully, as though she had fallen asleep.
Maria.
すまぬ。そなたが第二の番の生贄であることは謝らぬ。そういう運命なのだから。しかしその捧げ方が悪趣味であったことは謝らねばならぬ。これが最後の眠りだ。もう二度と妨げられることはない。
Beato softly, gently lifted her finger, as though touching the empty air in front of her nose. When she did, a light breeze lifted up, making Rosa's body dance lightly as a feather. Then Rosa's body floated softly, and right there was the garden fence with its spear-shaped prongs. Ooh. The spear of the fence pierced Rosa's medulla oblongata, benevolently without toying with her in a single blow. Rosa's life was snapped out. Compared to the earlier innocent yet cruel events, it seemed to be over much too fast. It just looked like a doll shaped like Rosa was leaning against the fence. She had passed away. Beato acted proud, but the new witch wore a blank expression, almost as though it was an anticlimax. Oh. Then she said it out loud.
なんだか地味です。ロノウェイに聞いていた先代様のそれとは随分違います。
So that's
そのだな。魔法は上品に使わねばな。あまり品がないのはエレガントではないのだ。
せっかく素敵なことが無限にできる魔法なのにつまらない。
Yep. Oh, goodbye, Beatrice. Goodbye, Beato. It was nice knowing you. Oh, the death flags are so big right now.
これ愚痴るでない。黄金の魔女の道は一日にしてならずだ。そなたとて第10の番を終えるまでは半人前よ。今は黙ってわらわの指導に従うのだ。よいな。返事はどうした？返事は。
はーい。
それでよい、それで。まあ。
You know that she
まだ
doesn't
復
like
活の
that.
儀式の先は長いぞ。あと5人も殺さねばならないからな。あまりもてあそばずに、綺麗に、上品に、少しあっさりめでいいからな。ロノウェがそなたに教えたわらわのやり方は、悪い例だ。模範にしてはならぬ。よく心に刻んでおけ。
はい、先代様。
良い返事だ。ロノウェ、煉獄の7姉妹よ。いでよ。
はい、お嬢様、ロノウェ、ここに。
傲慢のルシファー、ここに。
これまではだな。わらわもいろいろ派手にやってきたわけだが、まあ、黄金の魔女としての威厳も大事であり、だな。
As Ronove laughed at Beato's uncharacteristically flustered speech, he summed it up for her.
かしこまりました。以後は黄金の魔女の名にふさわしい気品に気をつけるようにいたします。煉獄の7姉妹もこれまでのような悪ふざけは改め、以後は最短の手順で任務を遂行するようにということでよろしいですか、お嬢様。
つまりはそういうことだ。みんな肝に銘じよ。よいな。
はい。
So Battler will see that Beatrice is going to die, maybe by the end of this chapter or this episode. And Eva is going to be the antagonist for episode 4. And maybe until another witch finds the gold.
かしこまりました。
Oh, this is gonna... Oh.
わらわが言いたいのは以上だ。もう引き上げてよいぞ。
かしこまりました。それでは失礼いたします。
Every single sentence
失礼いたします。
is being a death flag right now. So bad. Oh, this is gonna be horrible to watch.
わらわが言いたいのはそれだけだ。それでは引き続きしっかりな。黄金の魔女らしく貫禄を持って自重気味にな。頑張るがよいぞ。そなたを見守っておる。
Acting awkwardly until the very end, Beato left that message, and immediately became a cloud of gold butterflies, hiding her form in the empty air. Oh, this is so good. Maybe it'd be more accurate to say that she vanished in a hurry because she couldn't keep up the conversation. After that, all that remained was Maria's corpse, lying down and pounded by the rain. Rosa's corpse, propped up by the fence and staring up at the sky. The figure of the witch. Her expression looked just a little bored. There was a popping sound. That was probably her clicking her tongue.
つまん なやつ。
Oh my god. Leaving the last sentence behind, she once again vanished into the empty air. Oh. Man, that chapter was long. Hideyoshi wiped his own forehead. For a time, Eva had seemed to be having a very painful nightmare, but it appeared she'd finally fallen asleep. As promised, he still gripped Eva's hand. He'd thought it might be time to let go pretty soon, but he faithfully continued to hold on. Every once in a while, his hand would get tired and would switch between his right and his left. But even so, as promised, he didn't let go of her hands. At that time, there was a heavy knock. Eva had finally been able to fall asleep, so Hideyoshi grimaced for just an instant.
Aniki! Hideyoshi-san! Sumane! Rosa wa soko ni iru ka?
It was Rudolph's voice. What could it be? Hideyoshi headed for the door, hiding his footsteps so he wouldn't wake up Eva. It was definitely Rudolph's voice, but just in case he opened the door without removing the chain.
なんや、ローザさんがどないかしたんか。
ローザとマリアちゃんの姿が見えないんだ。一緒にいるかと思って。
廊下で叱っとったの聞こえたで。その後静かになったからロビーに戻ったと思っとったんだが、ちゃうのか。
あのバカ。
Rudolph clicked his tongue. Other people could be seen in the corridor. Rosa hadn't returned for a while after going out into the corridor, so they began to worry. Near the front door, Natsuhi pointed at the unset chain.
チェーンは開いてますし、やっぱりバラを見に表へ行ったのでしょう。
鍵を開けっぱなして出ていくなど、不用心が過ぎるな。困ったやつだ。
それより、今はローザさんとマリアちゃんの身が心配よ。
だな。おいガキども、マリアちゃんのバラってのはどこにあったんだ。
確かあれはバラ庭園の真ん中の花壇だったと思います。
あの二人がそこにいるなら行けばすぐにわかるはずです。
親父、すぐに連れ戻した方がいいだろうぜ。
当たり前だ。二人とも連れ戻してお尻ペンペンしてやるぜ。俺が一っ走り行ってくる。俺が出たらすぐに鍵をしろよ。
親父、俺も付き合うぜ。
バカ抜かせ。ガキはママとお留守番って相場が決まってら。
Oh, I wanted to see more of Battler and Rudolph's relationship.
どうしたの？何かあったの？
すまんな、起こしてしまったか。ローザさんがマリアちゃんを連れて表へ出たらしい。なんとも不用心なこっちゃ。
ローザとマリアちゃんが表へ？バラ庭園へ？
そうや。ああ、聞こえとったか。マリアちゃんはバラが見たいと騒いどったからな。
ダメよ、バラ庭園に行っちゃダメ。ローザを呼び止めて。
呼び止めるもなんもうずいぶん前に出て行っとるよ。
Oh, so she knows.
まったく不用心な話やで。違う
の、バラ庭園はダメ。あそこには魔女がいる。そして生贄を待ってる。ローザ行っちゃダメ。
Eva cowered again, holding her head. Her complexion looked very bad.
どうしたんや。熱にうなされて何か悪い夢でも見たんか。
夢よね。バラ庭園で魔女がローザたちを。そうよね、夢よね。
落ち着くんや。この部屋にはわしもおる。チェーンもかかっとる。窓かて鎧戸が下ろしてあるし、銃まであるんや。この部屋はさながら要塞やで。なんも恐れることなんかあらへん。
Hideyoshi beat his chest, trying to calm her, but Eva's insecure expression didn't change. Under the covers, Eva kept praying that the grotesque nightmare she just had was only a dream. So, Eva, ooh.
ルドルフがバラ庭園中央にてロ
Voiceless
ーザ、マリアの遺体を確認。その後ゲストハウスに戻って応援を呼び、両名をゲストハウスに運び込みました。南條の検視を信頼できるならば、ローザの死因は延髄部への柵の先端部分による死突、マリアについては素手による絞殺と考えられます。ただし悪魔の証明により誤審率は否定できません。
わらわが赤にて語る。ローザとマリアは死亡した。死因は男女の見立て通りだ。雲にも食われておらんし、ケーキの山に潰されたわけでもない。安心せよ。
あれだけ死をもてあそび、死体が綺麗だからいいだろうって論法かよ。俺は絶対に許さねえぞ。
Passing out the torch. Oh, she'll continue trying to get Battler's favor, and then going to grow too reckless and die. And then Battler going to realize, and then he's going to face Eva Beatrice in episode 4, I think.
ローザおばさんに対する無残な仕打ちの数々、絶対に忘れねえし許さねえからな。
だからあれはわらわではないというに、あやつの仕打ちに比べたらはるかに安らかな死を与えたはず。
うるさい、黙れ。お前とは口を聞かない。18人しか島にいないと言い切られ、すでに8人が死んでいる以上、容疑者は10人に絞られる。その中の誰かが殺したってんだろう。あるいは事故死かもな。
Oh, Rosa strangles her daughter, and then an accident happens.
マリアが発作的に泣きわめき、それを泣き止まそうとしたローザおばさんは力の加減を誤ってつい殺してしまったとか。それで動転して滑って転んで柵に倒れて運悪く死んでしまった。
Yeah, that could be it.
どうだよ、これで魔女も魔法も出番なしだ。
ああ、そういうわけではないぞ。実はだな、ローザとマリアは。
うるさい、お前とは口を聞かないと言っている。目障りだから消えろ。化け物め。
Battlers say that without rage, but with a horribly cold voice. That strange behavior was something that Beato noticed right off the bat. In a fight, both of them could go at each other without restraint. However, he wouldn't even step into the ring. She could feel that coldness. Beato didn't find that amusing. She thought about flaring up, but she had held back. Even though she was innocent and childish, she had enough sense to realize that she shouldn't pick fights.
そうかよ。なら姿を消すと。ロノウェ、続きを引き継げ。
かしこまりました。よろしいですか、バトラ様。
問題のない申し出です。バトラ君がベアトの顔を見たくないというなら、それもありかと。
好きにしろよ。その化け物の顔を見なくて済むなら何だって構わないぜ。
なあ、ちょっと待てよ。さっきから化け物化け物と。わらわはひどい言われようではないか。なぜにわらわはそこまでバトラに毛嫌いされねばならぬというのか。あれらは全てわらわではなく、わらわの弟子の仕業であろうが。
別に俺はさっきのことだけで腹を立ててるわけじゃねえぜ。一番最初からだ。
Yep. You should have been like this since the beginning, actually.
なあ、バトラ、誤解するなよ。わらわとそなたはゲームを通して対峙し合うプレイヤー同士なだけではないか。互いに相手を苦しめるために指し手を探る。
It isn't a game for him, actually.
勘違いするな。俺はお前が魔女を認める認めないのおかしなゲームのライバルだから嫌ってるんじゃない。お前の無意味に残酷なところが。
そりゃあ連続殺人を通してのゲームだからな。多少は残酷になるのはやむを得まいだろうに。
さっきのことだけじゃない。前回だって前々回だって みんなの腹を裂いてお菓子を詰め込んだり顔面を耕したり、それに何の意味があったってんだ。
それはまあ
密室殺人だのトリックだのアリバイだの、そこまでは100歩譲ってやる。お前は魔法殺人だと主張したいんだから、そういう手の込んだ事件を起こさざるを得ないことを100歩譲って理解してやってもいい。しかしあれらのグロテスクな殺人に一体どれほどの意味があ
Yeah,
ると
the
い
other
うのか。
murders are just like a stab with the stakes, right? So, yeah, the first murders are needlessly cruel, I think.
それは別に。
そうさ、何の意味もない。お前はただ悪ふざけで死者を切り刻んで面白がっているだけだ。それは魔女だからとか魔法じゃなきゃできないからとか、そういうのじゃない。ただお前が面白半分に残酷の限りを尽くしているだけなんだ。
And she
それはお前が魔女だからとかそういうことじゃない。ただただ人として許せないものがあるからだ。
なんだよその人としてってやつは。
例えば今回のゲームの第1の番の6人、まあじいさまの黒焦げはともかく他の5人の死体は不要に死者を恥ずかしめない普通の殺し方だった。凶器が槍だか銃だかははっきりしないが、とにかく殺しの中じゃまだ許容できるマシなものだった。前回前々回の第1の番での非常識さ、残酷さに比べればはるかにマシだった。そして今回の6つの密室をつなげた連鎖密室、まあまあ面白かったぜ。あれをお前とやりとりしてるときは今だから白状するが少しだけ楽しいと思った。自分の存在を認めさせようと必死になるお前とそれを否定しようと必死になる俺、どっちも必死で全力だ。おかしな話だが俺はお前との間にささやかなスポーツマンシップさえ感じたものさ。俺とお前は相入れない存在だが、
I guess Battler has become more desensitized with the
全く理解できない存在でもないかもしれないと
his family is getting
わずかに
killed.
思えた。
Even normal killing is still killing.
だがその気持ちはついさっき微塵も残らずに吹き飛んだ。
だからそなたは誤解しておる。あれはわらわではなく。
違う、俺はそういう話をしてるんじゃない。お前はローザおばさんがひどい殺し方を何度も何度も繰り返されるのを見て面白い見せ物だと嘲笑った。それを見て俺は深く失望した。お前が今回少しはマシな殺し方を選んだのは何かのちょっとした気まぐれなんであって、本来の残酷な勝負には何の変わりもないんだと分かって深く失望した。それどころかお前は残酷な死を純粋に楽しんでさえいる。俺に意地悪をするためだけに残酷を尽くしてるんじゃない。お前は本当に純粋に残酷を楽しんでいる。楽しめる性分なんだ。お前はローザおばさんが何度もむごたらしく殺されているのを俺に楽しいだろうと言った。嫌味で言ったんじゃない。心底から楽しくて、それを俺にも共感してほしくて楽しいだろうと言ったんだ。その瞬間俺は失望し悟った。お前が魔女だとかそうでないとかそういうことが問題なんじゃない。俺はお前のその残酷さが許せない。そして理解できない。許すこともできない。だが魔女を認めるか否定するかというゲームは続ける。自ら降りて敗北を認めたりはしないさ。だがそのゲームにお前の無意味な残酷さは何の必要もない。だから俺はお前を対戦相手として認めないことにする。ロノベの方が100倍増した。お前のような残酷趣味はない。あったとしても俺の前でそれをひけらかす悪趣味はない。そうさ、お前は悪趣味だ。残酷で心がなく
Man,
だから
Battler's
理解する
speaking.
ことができない。相手として不快だ。だから俺はお前の顔を二度と見たくない。
Battler is being the real one here. Oof. As Battler went on and on by himself, Beato was shocked into silence by a long time. Maybe she couldn't understand what she was being told. And this was a sign that she just was doing all she could in an effort to understand. For a while, she kept switching between angry expressions, frustrated expressions, bold expressions, as though she, even herself, didn't know what attitude she should take. In the end, she made her face into a candid expression, as though she had come to her senses, and shrugged her shoulders as though she was tired.
なら好きにすればよい。わらわは以後ロノウェを通してゲームを続けることにする。わらわが姿を見せないのであれば文句ないであろう。
とりあえずはな。だがお前の重ねてきた残酷な行為の数々を俺は絶対に許さない。
Don't forget that,
だから絶
Battler.
対にお前を認めない。
Even if you avenged her death, don't forget what she did, okay? Can you please consider that for a moment? You could sympathize, empathize, and avenge her if she dies, but please don't forget what she did.
そのためにもお前に売られた喧嘩を俺から降りない。そして絶対に負けない。それだけだ。
ベアト、これ以上言い訳を重ねても彼の心象は変わりませんよ。後で話があります。それまで下がっていなさい。
わかった。それでは呼ばれるまで姿を消している。
Looking lonely, Beato turned her back to them and vanished. Battler watched, a slightly displeased expression on his face. He thought his arguments had been valid, but for some reason his mood didn't clear up.
あいつはバカだろ。
そうですね。バカで素直です。
あのバカ。ローザおばさんが残酷に殺されるところを俺と見て満面の笑みで振り返りやがった。あの残酷症を本気で俺と笑い合えると信じてやがったんだ。俺とその感情を共有できると本気で信じてやがった。あの無邪気な笑顔を見て俺は最低な気持ちになったぜ。むしろこれまでのように意地悪な面で言われた方がずっとマシだった。畜生。
お嬢様は友達というものを持った試しのない方です。それどころかあれほど強く物を言われたことさえなかったでしょう。私もマダムも共に付き人。何を申し上げてもお耳には届きません。お嬢様にはこれも。
ふざけるな。俺はあいつの友達になった覚えはないぞ。
そうでございますね。失礼いたしました。
Oh man. So the story really is going in that direction. Battler, you have a long way ahead of you. And Beato has a short walk until she dies.
一つだけあなたに感謝を。あの子のゲームを降りないでくれてありがとう。
She spoke words of gratitude, but for some reason, Battler made a displeased face. Then, as though in self-derision, he chuckled.
魔女やら悪魔やらに礼を言われるようになっちゃ俺もおしまいだな。ゲームを再開しようぜ。もちろん手心を加えるつもりはないからな。
望むところです。お嬢様と違い私は熱くはなりませんよ。
俺の手はすでに刺したぜ。ローザおばさんが犯人で事故死と仮定すれば魔女は否定できる。ローザおばさんを疑いたくはないがベアトをぶっ潰すために、
Yeah, I already thought.
今はあえてそうだと仮定する。
I already discussed that if the whole murder mystery hadn't happened, then Rosa would probably have killed her daughter in a few years from now. There's no way.
赤で否定を行います。ローザとマリアの2人は 他殺です。
よし、そこから始めようじゃねえか。くそ、盛り上がらねえぜ。
With Rosa and Maria's deaths, it was now clear that the culprit was still hiding somewhere, trying to add even more murders to this chain. As he shed tears, Rudolph scolded Rosa's corpse for being reckless several times. Rosa would never respond to that again. They decided to place the two corpses in one of the guest rooms and to seal it until the police arrived. The murder of the second Twilight had delivered a heavy blow to everyone. It had blown away the optimism of some of them held. They thought that crime didn't actually occur and it was all a game or a farce by Kinzo and the servants. Trying to distract themselves from the loss of the people they liked, George and Jessica had spent the whole time since morning talking about every possibility. And they had distracted their hearts by supposing that these murders might actually have all been an act, and that Shannon and Cannon were only pretending to be dead. When the next murder occurred, it destroyed that thought, and they were once again struck by the fact that the person they liked had most definitely been killed. The tears they had thought they'd died away began to drip down once more, and Battler couldn't think of anything to say to them. Dead angle. After that, all the adults checked that all of the rooms were safe and locked just in case. They made certain that the shutters of all the windows were down and locked. It had confirmed that no one suspicious was hiding anywhere. On top of that, they checked their weapons once again, and checked with each other to make sure they were mentally prepared so they wouldn't hesitate to fire off a preemptive shot if they saw the shadow of a mysterious person. Rosa's gun had been found near the scene of the crime. Someone had gone out of the way to leave it there, so everyone suspected it was some kind of trap. When Hideyoshi delicately used the fire iron to fire off test shots, it was able to discharge without incident. I'm gonna waste bullets, man. So since the 5 shots loaded into it had discharged without any problems, they reloaded it with bullets and handed it over to the only adult male who wasn't armed, Hideyoshi. However, the fact that he had been able to fire off 5 shots gave rise to a certain paranoia. This short-barrel Winchester could hold only 5 shots. In other words, Rosa hadn't fired even once, and yet the two of them had probably been killed by someone with bare hands. This meant there was a possibility that the crime had been committed by someone whose face they knew.
最初の殺人が起きた時、私は内心これが全て芝居である可能性を考えたの。南條先生には悪いけど、実は南條先生もグルで使用人たちが死んだということにして、何かお父様が凝りに凝った大芝居を打った可能性もあると思った。だって彼らの密室状況は、彼らの自作自演を想定しない限り生み出せないのだもの。
僕たちもそれを疑いました。いえ、今もそうであってほしいと信じてます。
申し訳ないが、それはありません。私も老いぼれです。誤信もあるかもしれない。しかし生き死にを間違えるようなことは絶対にない。
分かってるよ。わざわざそれを口に出すなよ、南條先生。
すみません。
They have no way of knowing, but Beato had already used the red to proclaim the deaths of all the 6. No, the deaths of all victims so far in this game. That faint dream that it was all farce, that the victims were actually alive. I'm sorry to say it, but that's impossible. That's Battler saying it.
となりゃこの島に屋敷に精通した何者かが潜んでいて、練りに練った犯行を実行したと考える方が自然だろうよ。つまりこの島には台風が来て外界と途絶された時点で 18人以上の人間がいたんだ。
And no, there's no more than 18 people. That's also wrong. Of course, there was no way for them to know about that either. That claim of Rudolph's had also been denied in red. There are no more than 18 humans on this island.
こう考えると少しは辻褄が合うのかしら。つまり隠れ潜んでいる何者かは本来は今島にいるはずのない人物にもかかわらず、ローザさんが油断するような顔見知りの人物である可能性よ。
それは例えばこの2日間のシフトに当たっていない使用人などですか？
No, she would have killed him immediately.
それを言われると弱いな。我々は勤務を終えた彼らが離島するのを切符切りのように確認しているわけではない。数日前のシフトの使用人が離島したふりをして島内にとどまっていたかもしれないと仮定した。否定するのは難しいね。
Still, that wouldn't be so close as to lower her guard. Instead, it would raise her guard even more if it was a servant.
ローザさんもアホちゃうと思うで。いるはずのない使用人がひょっこり姿を現したら普通は警戒バリバリや。
顔見知りの犯行と決めつけるのもどうかと思うわ。暗がりから突然ローザが襲われて銃を奪われそうになった。そしたらローザが転んで柵に頭を打ち動かなくなった。ゲストハウスが近かったので銃声を嫌い素手でマリアちゃんを殺した。
そういう可能性もあるな。ただそうだとしてもだ、現場にわざわざローザの銃を残していくだろうか。犯人が何を武装しているか知らねえが、こちらの銃は不安要素のはずだ。その一丁を浴びけるチャンスだったはずだぜ。なぜわざわざ現場に残したんだ。
私は初めその銃を罠だと思ったの。チェス盤思考だとそうなる。わざわざ残した以上私たちの誰かに手に取らせたい。そして引き金を引かせたいに違いない。てっきり暴発して大怪我を負わせるような危険な仕掛けがされてるに違いないと思ってたわ。
でも現に大丈夫や。おそらく犯人も焦っとったんとちゃうか。今頃銃を奪うチャンスを逃したことを後悔しとるに決まっとるで。
なんだか不愉快だな。銃なんか怖くもないっていう魔女のメッセージみたいでムカつくぜ。
しかしいずれにせよ恐ろしい相手ですね。ローザさんが銃を持っていることは傍目にも分かったはず、にもかかわらず襲いかかるとは銃を恐れないという点を私たちは軽視するべきではありません。
夏日の言う通りだ。これまで以上に用心すべきだろう。
念のためなんだけど、ローザさんたちが外に出たと思われる頃、みんなはどこにいたのかしら。
私と夏日、そしてルドルフとキリエさんはここで一緒だった。私がアリバイを保証する。
わしとエヴァも一緒だったで。わしが保証するわ。
俺とジョージの兄貴ジェシカも一緒だったぜ。ローザおばさんに2階へ戻ってろと怒鳴られ、すごすごといとこ部屋へ引き返したさ。
あの時マリアを行かせなければ。
それを言ってももうどうしようもないよ。
南條先生は
私は2階の部屋で本を読んでおりました。一人でおりましたので誰にもアリバイは証明できませんが、子供たちと一緒に2階へ戻ったのは皆さんも見ているはずです。
これを言い出したらキリがないが、窓から飛び降りてローザを襲って、雨どいでもよじ登ってまた戻ってきたとか。
めっそうもない。この老体に2階から飛び降りたりよじ登ったりなどというゲートをできるわけもありません。
やめましょう、互いを疑うのは。それよりも互いを信頼し合って子供たちのためにもここの安全を死守することの方が先決です。
そうだな、夏日さんの言う通りだ。今は内部を疑い合うのをやめよう。
そうね、犯人探しなんて私たちには無用かもしれないわ。ただ明日まで生き残り警察に通報して、その指示に従うだけ。犯人が誰かなんて警察が必ず暴き出してくれるのだから。
I don't know about that.
どうしたんやエヴァ。 まだ体調は悪いんとちゃうか？
母さん、どうしたの？大丈夫？
ごめんなさい。まだ熱が高いみたいなの。大丈夫だから放っておいて。
When they looked, they saw Eva staring at the floor, her breathing harsh again. She had been able to act firm for a time due to the urgency of the situation. It seemed that her body wasn't at its best after all. Oh.
あの二人は私が殺した。これで黄金のことを知っているのは私たちだけ。他の兄弟たちにはかけら一つだって譲りはしないの。
なんてことを。
Oh, Eva.
あれだけの莫大な黄金なのよ。ローザたちに分け前をあげたって全く問題はなかったでしょうに。
あるわよ。あれは後宮家の当主だけが引き継げる黄金なの。
It's a point of pride.
だからこそそれは全て丸ごと当主の栄誉そのものなの。それにわずかほどでも傷をつけることはこの私、新しき黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェが絶対に許さないわ。
あなたは魔女の碑文通りに殺人を続けるつもりなの？まさか、あと5人も人殺しを続けるつもりなの？
ええ、その面倒な儀式を終えないと私の魔女としての力は完全なものにならないらしいの。
Oh, so Eva knows.
ねえ、私この魔女の力は本当にすごいわ。私たちが妄想してきた全てが本当に実現できる。夢が夢でなくなる力なの。この力を知ってしまったらもう魔女はやめられない。儀式を完全に終えて私の力が完全なものになればきっとそれをあなたにも教えてあげられるわ。
Oh my god, her laugh.
バカなことはやめて。魔女ごっこはもう十分でしょ。私たちは黄金を見つけたわ。そして次期当主の座だって約束されてるわ。ほんの少しの綱渡りは必要だろうけど、もうそれは絶対に叶う夢。
She's definitely gonna kill Cross. Oh, she's definitely.
なのにこれ以上あなたは何を望むというの？
Oh, Cross is super dead.
私は魔女になりたかったわ。
私そんな夢なんか知らないわよ。
そうよ、その夢を持ち続けてるから私はこの年のままで生きながらえているの。あなたはその夢を大人になることで捨てたわ。いくら待てども時計を持ったウサギなど訪れないし、ハンプティ・ダンプティにも会えはしない。もちろんトランプの国に招かれたりも絶対にない。あなたはそう諦めてしまったから大人になったのよ。
Alice in Wonderland here.
だからもう魔女になりたいなんて思わない。それが本当の自分の夢であったことも忘れてしまったの。
とにかくやめて。私はもう2つの夢を手に入れている。黄金と当主の座。それでもう十分なの。だからお願い、あんたの夢なんて知ったことじゃない。おとなしくしてて。
Man, imagine if Kyrie ever finds the gold. Oh, that would be... Oh, Battler, you're so fucked.
いやよ、魔法面白いもの。それにあなたの2つの夢は私の魔法のおかげで叶ったのよ。
Eva and Kyrie are the worst ones to ever.
なのに私の夢は叶えてはいけないなんて不公平よ。
あなたの魔法には感謝してるし、あなたこそが本当の魔女だと私は認めてるわ。だからもうおとなしく私の胸の中に帰って、そして二度と現れないで。
Nope.
いや私たちお互いに勘違いしてるわね。そうよ、私はもうあんたじゃないの。あんたは後宮エヴァ、私は黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェ。
Evatrice.
だからあんたの胸の中に帰る義理はないの。さながらあなたという殻を脱皮して蝶になったような気分かしら。
Was Beatrice like that for Shannon, maybe? Maybe he didn't suppress feelings.
意識が朦朧とする。
I think maybe.
私の魔力が未熟な分をあなたの正規で補ってるの。
Like maybe she felt very angry at being treated like a servant since she was young, maybe.
私が儀
10
式を終え
years
て
she
完
started
全な魔女になる
working
まであな
when she
た
was
に負
6.
担をかけるかもね。それくらいは2つの夢を叶えてあげた対価ってことにしてもらうわよ。
That's basically child labor, child slavery for Shannon.
大
So
丈夫、安心して。残る5人の生贄についてはあんたの家族は外してあげるわ。そうね、ルドルフ、キリエ、クラウス、ナツヒ、
oh my god, her voice.
あとは老いぼれの南條なんかどう？
Oh.
ちょうどいいわ。この5人を殺すわね。
So Battler, Jessica, and Eva, Hideyoshi, and George. Yeah.
あなただけに明かす殺害予告ってところかしら。
Oh my god. Eva finally crouched down. Hideyoshi rushed up to her and landed his shoulder.
大丈夫か？無理せんと休もう。
大丈夫かね、南條先生。エヴァを。
When Andre and George tried to approach, Eva made a gesture to stop them.
ありがとう。大丈夫よ、南條先生。薬なら飲んでるの。こんな非常事態で申し訳ないけど、もう少しだけ休ませてもらうわ。
母さん、僕も肩を貸すよ。
ありがとう。お父さんが見ててくれるから平気よ。あなたは2階のいとこ部屋に戻って決して出てこないように。いいわね。何があってもゲストハウスを出ちゃダメよ。外にはあの魔女が。
もう喋るなや。みんなすまんな。わしはエヴァを部屋で看病しとる。何かあったら呼んでや。
Hideyoshi and Eva retreated from the lobby. However, Eva wasn't the only one who wasn't feeling good. They hadn't gotten a wink of sleep since the previous night and had been pressed by tension since that morning. They were mustering their energy to protect their families. But if they relaxed even a little, surely everyone would be down and out. Maria.
ここまでは順調であるが、ここからが難しいぞ。
難しいとは？
大抵の場合、儀式が進行するにつれ犠牲者が増えると、彼らは守りを固めるようになり、多くの場合ひとところに固まって動かなくなるのだ。それは我らにとって非常に都合が悪い。
それは私たち魔女が群れた人間に劣るということですか？
魔女が人間に劣ることはない。ただ時代が変わり、人間が毒を持つようになったというべきか。
Poison.
大昔の魔法が信じられていた時代は問題なかったのだが、現代人はあの小憎たらしいバトラがそうであるように基本的に魔法を否定する。つまり存在自体が反魔法的なのだ。その結果、彼らはいつの間にか体内に魔法を否定する毒素を有するようになった。
つまり人間の数が多ければ多いほど、その反魔法の毒素が強くなって、私たち魔女には不利だとおっしゃられるのですか？
This feels like some very, very elaborate and convenient bullshit. This is all to say that they can't act like a... If they can't kill like a human can kill, then they can't.
彼らの魔法を否定する心の力、すなわち対魔法抵抗力の合計値がそのまま魔法力の分母となるわけだ。
Nah, this is all so bad.
そなたにはちと難しいか？
ご冗談を。実に簡単にわかります。つまり魔法を信じない人間が多ければ多い
The
ほど、
weaker you are.
そしてその意志が強ければ強いほど、魔法は効果を劇的に助産されるとおっしゃっておられるのですね。なるほど。そのような計算式ならば攻め方を考え直さなければなりません。
Oh, she's better than you, Beatrice. Oh no. Fundamentally, my magic possesses a vast power. It can even make a rain of fire fall from the heavens, or divide the sea. Reviving a lost life isn't impossible either. However, that power is extremely weak against the toxin that rejects it. And that toxin started piling up in humans since the time they forgot to respect things sacred. Until finally, this earth was covered with enough toxin, the miracles of magic could no longer be displayed. Thus, witches from across the world were chased from their dwellings. They have been forced to choose to throw away their magic and live as humans, or else live in hiding remote areas where the toxin of humans didn't reach. In that sense, Rokkenjima, with its population of only a few dozen humans, was extremely favorable for witches. Even more favorable was the existence of the ghost story about the witch who lived in the Rokkenjima forest. Oh, the new portrait. In other words, by permeating the island with the new fear that a witch might exist, since the magic-resistant toxin from the humans was weakened, a small population and room for them to acknowledge magical beings. In other words, minds that were only weakly anti-magical. Only by existing in the valley where those two converged could a witch live in modern times.
なるほど。つまりその計算式によるならば、魔女が効率よく力を振るうにはいくつかのルールがあることになりますね。
Yeah, Eva is more intelligent than Shannon. Oh no.
一つは演出。人間の仕業とは思えない殺人を演出し、オカルト的な装飾を施して、彼らに魔女の存在を強くアピールし、浸透させることによって、その結果、反魔法力が減少して、魔法力の分母の減少も図られる。なるほど。第一の番の不気味な魔法陣の演出などはこれに当たるわけですか。
そうよ、その通り。毎回の第一の番の動きの演出は全てそのためのものなのだ。別に決してわらわが残酷なのが好きで面白半分でやっていたわけではないのだぞ。
だとしたら先代様、今回のは失敗ですね。殺し方が非常に地味でした。ただのミステリーにしか見えません。ロノウェイに聞いていますが、前回や前々回のように遺体をもっと派手に損壊してファンタジーに見せかけ、彼らに恐怖心を植え付けるべきでしたね。
まあそうだな。毎回それでは芸がないと思ってな。深く考えるでない。気まぐれだ。
Actually, it had really been on her whim. After what Battler had said to her, she couldn't really say out loud anymore. But she really had decided her methods of killing based on mere whims. No, it would be better to say that she had half-heartedly let Ronove decide. After all, she left the closed rooms of this game's first twilight to him. Oh, that's right, I forgot. Oh no. And Battler praised that. But it was Ronove, not Beatrice. But if she'd had a cruel idea, then she surely explored the limits of atrocity, even worse than in the previous game. Oh, look at her face.
ローザとマリアの殺し方についても、先代様は自重するようにおっしゃられましたが、それも私たち魔女に利する行為ではありませんね。実際、彼らは現時点では魔女が実在するなんてこれっぽっちも信じてません。ファンタジーでなく完全にミステリーだと確信しています。私たち魔女にとって失敗した展開です。先代様がどういうわけかぬるいやり方を繰り返したせいです。
Oh, the phase where she's criticizing her finally begins, huh? Openly criticizing her.
ああ、そうだな。若いうちの苦労は買ってでもしろと言うではないか。先代からそなたへのこれは試練である。
I have a fear in my heart. Oh, I don't want to watch this.
慎んで挑むがよいぞ。
Oh, this is gonna be hard. Oh, Beato tried to laugh heartily. It was obviously the fake laugh of someone trying to cover something up. The new witch shrugged with a sigh.
この段階から演出によって反魔法力を減ずるのは多分手遅れでしょうね。
You could mess up with the bodies upstairs, maybe.
となればもう一つの手。
Maybe you could put a magic circle on the door and maybe put a magic circle inside and outside of the door where the corpse is, and let the front door of the guest house be closed and the door of Rose's body as well closed.
人間の分散が良いでしょう。
それが最も効果的であろうぞ。人間の人数が少なければ少ないほど分母の数は減るわけだ。その結果魔法力はてきめんとなる。つまりこの籠城状態をいかに崩して少人数に分散させるかがここからのポイントとなるわけだな。しかし彼らはもはや用心深い。容易には籠城を崩せぬぞ。前々回の金蔵の書斎での籠城、前回の客間での籠城、いずれも手強かった。ましてや今回は老快な大人勢がほとんど残った状態での籠城となっている。
Most of the cunning adults, yep. Eva, Rudolph, Cross. Natsuki's more earnest. Hideyoshi as well, very earnest.
状況はこれまで以上に困難であるぞ。
Butler is very intelligent as well. Kirie. Forgot about Kirie.
そなたが
Ultra
望むなら
intelligent.
特別に助言を与えてやっても良いのだがな。
In a closed circle, when the first murder case occurs, the survivors always hold up, gathering together to observe each other and ensure their safety. Funnily enough, not only do the mystery authors and murder culprits worry about how to break that situation apart, but so do witches who supposedly exist at a time on the other end of the spectrum. For a while, the new witch poked at her cheek with her pointed fingers, and after acting as though she was planning to do something, she spoke.
いいえ、結構です。
Oh.
試練ですから、先代様の手は借りません。
そうか。しかしだな、籠城を崩すのはなかなかに難しいぞ。
すでに手は打ってあります。きっと引っかかるはずです。
Oh.
頭のいいやつならむしろ必ず。
そうか。そなたは優秀であるな。
Oh.
手のかからぬ弟子でわらわは嬉しいぞ。
私、人に聞く前に自分で勉強するがモットーなので。それでは失礼します。獲物がのこのこと誘い出されるのを待たねばなりませんので。
それではしっかりな。
Beatrice, you're super dead. Oh, you're done. As the new witch lowered her head, her face blank, she turned into gold butterflies and vanished. Beato didn't look happy at all. She seemed to be lonely because of how little she was being relied on.
どいつもこいつもわらわのことなど構いもせぬ。魔女見習いね。天狗になりよって今に手痛いミスをして泣き言を言うに違いない。
No, she's not going to make any mistake.
その時こそようやくわらわの偉大さを理解し教えを請おうとするに違いないのだ。
Then you'll try to hinder her and more, and then she's gonna be done with you.
それまでわらわは高みの見物よ。
She laughed loudly on the outside, but a laugh no one can hear is completely pointless. Beato gave up and quickly stopped laughing. Ronove chose that time to show himself.
失礼いたします、お嬢様。バトラ様との 第2の番のゲームが終了いたしました。
そうか、ご苦労であった。守備はどうであったか。
申し訳ございません。リザインさせていただきました。バトラ様のローザがマリアを考察、その後に自己死は赤にて両名他殺で切り返したのですが、エヴァを主犯に据えられた一連の指し手を切り返せませんでした。
エヴァは秀吉にずっと看病されて部屋で寝ていたであろうが。
秀吉も共犯で両名でアリバイを作った可能性を提示されました。
秀吉まで疑うか。殺害時には客室にいたと赤にて叩き切ってやればよいではないか。
それも考えましたが、いずれにせよ数手先でいくつかの大駒を奪われてしまうかもしれません。それにこの手が新しきベアトリーチェ様が撃たれた布石の可能性もありますので、それを尊重することといたしました。申し訳ありません。
布石か。あやつ頭が切れるようだからの好きにさせておくがよい。どこまでやれるか見ものだ。
そうおっしゃると思いました。
Does Ronove know what's going to happen?
弟子が可愛くないのでご機嫌斜めとお見受けしますよ。
余計なお世話だ、あやつめ。ここからの籠城をどう崩していくつも
I
りな
feel
の
like Ronove is going to realize, or maybe he already did, that his masters are now changed. Ooh.
わらわもじっくり拝見させてもらうとするぞ。
That a new king entered the board, and a very powerful king at that. Eva is very smart.
バトラの機嫌の方はどうなのか。
落ち着いておられるように見えました。やはりお嬢様が相手でないと盛り上がらないとおっしゃっておいででしたよ。
そうか、そうであろう、そうであろう。第4の番以降はやはりわらわが復帰しないとバトラも寂しかろうな。
Oh my god, she's so cute. But still, oh, I feel so bad now.
それでは私はこれで失礼させていただきます。美味しいクッキーを焼かねばなりません。せめてお嬢様とバトラ様のお話が弾みますように。
あいつお前のクッキーボリボリ食ってたな。
Oh my god, she's blushing.
やはり男の子だからお腹が空くのであろう。多めに焼いてやれ。
かしこまりました。クッキーでテーブルを埋めてご
Oh,
らん
it's
に入れ
gonna
まし
only
ょう。
make her death sadder.
それが良いぞ。
Goodbye. Kyrie called out Rudolph out into the corridor. It was obvious that she wanted to talk about something that she didn't want others to hear.
あのね。表へ出たいの。
What? Oh no. Okay. Okay.
確かにわずかばかりの朝食では体が持たないが、しかし。
Oh. Solved the riddle of the witch's epitaph, and was his new endless witch, had a natural talent for magic, and is expected to grow into an extraordinary great witch. In many cases, genius witches are swallowed by their own power while they are still young. This is a trial permitted only to geniuses, and those who overcome it will surely leave their names in history of the endless witch. She'll be able to overcome the trial that defeated her predecessor. So let's rank the characters. Still no changes other than... Ooh. It was this very woman who became the sacrifice for the birth of the new witch. And then her blood became the red ink for the witch's oath. So this is like the passing of the torch to a new culprit. since the old one died, I think. Committed suicide. So the rankings remain largely the same, yet Eva Beatrice, not Eva, I'm going to distinguish them from now on. Evatrice, the little one, the younger one, the witch one, she is incredible, and I'm going to put her on S rank plus, on the beginning of S rank plus actually, just behind Battler. So Beatrice, Battler, and then Eva Beatrice. She's just so good. And Eva is still in S rank, but her counterpart is just so much better. And that's it for now. Thanks for watching.